Sorry everyone for the technical difficulties. So today I'll be using a PowerPoint to explain the importance of wills, as I mentioned before. So I know that this topic is a topic that is normally taboo in this day and age. I know that this topic is normally a topic that is taboo in this day and age, but it's something that we really need to talk about. It's very important for us to keep it in mind. Having a will avoid unnecessary stress and unnecessary problems for your loved ones. And for example, we all know the Black Panther star, Chadwick Boseman, that recently died. So he died without having a will, and his estate was almost estimated $1 million. And the fact that he had no will has left his wife going to court to seek and to be appointed as an administrator. So let that not be us to put our loved ones in a situation where we're causing them unnecessary problems. So we're going to go and mention what is a will. So what is a will? So to begin with, a will is literally a legal document that contains all your wishes. So in other words, it's a legal document that will be able to speak for you when you're not able to speak. So what happens if you don't have a will? When you don't have a will, you'll be known as an intestate. So it will be the government that decides how they distribute your assets to your beneficiaries, and your beneficiaries are the people that will benefit from your will. So we're going to move on, and we're going to say the contents of a will. So the contents that that should be included in your will should be the names of the executors, the beneficiaries. So as I mentioned, the people that are inheriting the assets. It would be all your wishes. So this could be what you want in your funeral, how you want people to dress if that's what you want, just anything. So as a will doesn't require a certain, anything can be included in your will. And who needs to be appointed as a guardian for if you have any children that are minor, so under 18. So moving on, it would be legal. So the things that need to be included to make sure your will is legal is that you need to have a sound mind. So sound mind meaning that you have a mental capacity to understand what is going on around you, and it must be in writing. Another thing is that you have to be 18 and above. Another thing is that you also have to make sure that it's voluntary. So it's not forced, it's your decision that you've made the will. And the other 2 points could also be that it needs to be signed in the presence of 2 witnesses who are both above 18, and that the 2 witnesses also have to sign the will in your presence, and they also have to be above 18. So we're now going to move on, and we're going to talk about the different types of wills. So there's different types of wills. There's, as we mentioned on the screen, and there's different types of wills. There's different types of wills that are mentioned on the screen. Just to elaborate on some, there's the simple will. This is a basic will that you can outline what you want that's given to all the beneficiaries. There's also the holographic will. This is simply a will that is written, handwritten. And one question could be, is a holographic will legal in the UK? And that is yes, as long as it's properly drafted and it meets the legal requirement. Then there's also a non-captive will, and this is a will that's made orally, but another question that could be, is this legal in the UK? And that would be no, not in the UK. So we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the advantages and benefits of a will. So the advantages and benefits of a will, there's many. Just to touch on some right now, it would be You can include your wishes inside your will. If you have a will, you'll be able to provide for those that you have chosen, and it will protect your children, and it will protect your estate from being contested. So moving on, the disadvantages of having a will. There are many disadvantages of not having a will, and one of them would be that you won't have control with what could happen after you've died. The rule of intestacy will then govern, so that means that the government will be the one that would the government will be the ones that would be distributing your assets, and it could also mean that your members that are not they're not capable, or they ain't got the mental capacity that you want to have a certain property or a certain asset. They will be put at risk. So moving on, one of the main in the main one another thing that is an advantage is that of having a will is that you'll be able to pay less inheritance tax, and this is not really a topic that is really in this. It's not in the scope of this topic, but just to touch on a way that you can pay less inheritance tax would be if you give gifts while you're alive, or you leave everything in your will to your partner. So this is also another advantage as well that could be if you have a will. Moving on, has anyone got any questions? Because we've come to an end. Has anyone got any questions?
Lovely. You want to hand back over to me?
Yeah.
I thought you'd say that.